Hi everybody and welcome to this Expert Division qualifying round for the Players Championship 9-hole cup here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Video guide for all 9 holes, plenty of drops as well. Please give me a thumb up, make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell button as well. Loads of videos on the channel homepage to help you. Like I said, plenty of drops here and some tweaks recommended and some suggestions of alternatives if you don't like what's on offer here. But as always good to put in some personal tweaks and take a practice token or two to increase your drop percentages. Good luck everybody, here we go with hole number 1. On this par 4 with this wind angle we are going to send it with a berserker or indeed the TPC Sawgrass ball if you want that extra needle stability. Bullseye directly over the rough at the top of plus 25 with APOC 5, P5 max with APOC 4. Going with 5.8 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right, and then we're going to make our adjustment. Maximum distance 15% elevation, so max numbers 15% elevation, P5 settings of course, and then we don't need to push up, just leave it where it is, and then we're going full overpower with a slower needle, and we're going here with a ball and a half of curl to the right. Hit perfect. You might want to tweak the curl a bit if you like, it's all up to you. Bouncing on the fairway nicely, and we're finding a nice line down there. Don't want to push it any further than that, but that is going to leave you with a drive of around 422 yards, and we're going to play end bringer school here. The usual method there, look at where the cup stands in between the ball and max wedge. Got tutorials on that. Quick fire end bringer method on the channel homepage. No spin, we're playing 20% elevation, power 5 numbers. As you can see from the position there, it's going to be around 60, 65, maybe 70% slider. Always measure it yourself though. But following a good drive with a nice perfect ball, then you're going to have a very nice, pretty much straight tailwind wedge, as you can see there, for your eagle. In this wind angle on this par 4. Now we have a hole-in-one here in a nasty wind angle, but we're going to start with adding spin, 1.2 backspin, 3 bars right spin. Then we're going to use a power 3 ball only, and we're going to have the red ring touching the rough there at the P3 minimum distance line. Make sure you've got the grizzly packed, so you have a nice firm min line to push back against. The adjustment is min plus 20 power 3 numbers. Try and keep the wind below 8 miles per hour if you can, and subject to any wind angle tweaks that you might need here, then you're going to have a good chance at the hole in 1. Bouncing very nicely there with a perfect ball. Second bounce on the fringe, and then we're rolling in there right at the pin. On this par 5 we are going to directly find our position with the APOC. With 5 and 6, level 5 and 6, blue ring touching the rough at the top of plus 8. That will be at the top of plus 14 with APOC 4. 5.8 top spin, 2 right spin. If you've got APOC 4, you will have 30% of the blue ring overlapping the rough on the left. So, finding our position, adding spin, then we adjust max plus 10, power 3 numbers. The idea here is to get to a specific point on the fairway, to have a clear shot to the green for an albatross attempt with either the Guardian, Big Dog or the Cataclysm. Choose whichever one is nicely developed, gives you a good ball guide and accuracy where possible. Perfect ball here though is going to find the fairway very nicely, and we're looking to approach the kind of top right hand corner, drive distance around 365. Second shot, I choose the Guardian level 9 as it was the best attributes with my wood clubs. Go with whatever you choose though really, whichever you want. 4 backspin, 2 right spin. The key here is to look at the second and third bounce, because even with most distance wood clubs you're not going to have the ball guide. So look at the second bounce, the edge of that light green square row. Third bounce level with the pin, but a little bit short. Pause the video, make some detailed notes, take a screenshot if you want as well. We're playing landing position plus yards here, 15% elevation, but I want you to go with power 2 numbers. For a plus 6, I'm playing this 85% slider. Plus 8, I'd be going 90% slider. It's actually true club distance with the power 3 numbers. But I want you to use power 2 settings, because here, look, I just over adjusted it. Power 2 settings would, I believe, get you in nicely for the Albatross. Now, in case you didn't know, there is a tour rotation for season 59. You can find what's in and what's out on my reveal video. That is Friday. That will be 5 PM UK time here. So make sure you get the bell button switched on, set your reminders, and join me live to find out what's going to be changing in whatever tours you're playing in Golf Clash. Here we're going to play a simple 1-to-1 adjustment on the drive using the rock. We're going to add spin. We're going with 4 top spin and 3 bars side spin to the right. And then the plus yards are going to vary depending on your club. Rock level 8 will start at the top of plus 12. A rock level 9 will start at the top of plus 11, but in both cases you want the red ring touching the rough on the right hand side. You'll see there the ball guide going to the edge of the tree shadow as well. Like I said, 1-on-1 is the adjustment here, so 7.8 in wind, I'm going to go 7.8 rings. So we make our adjustment. Make sure you zoom out enough if you've got more rings to pull. Don't worry about adjusting down into the bunker, still going to be fine. We are going with outer wall curl to the right and just before the circle drops as our overpower reference, because I don't use grid lines. Just make sure you find that point to make sure you've got the right power reference. Obviously when applying curl, easy to underpower or overpower too much. Drive distance is going to be around 340. Second shot, we're going to do a rough check. Bullseye over that rough line there, just to the top left of the bunker, with the ball guide passing over the pin. If you haven't got plus yards there, you can actually use drive distance on this one, as it is a pretty much straight hole. And in which case, of course, 340 will give you the same slider reference as on the notepad. We're going with 4 bars backspin, and we're having the ball guide just going to the cup. And you can see their ball guide just inside the cup with our backspin applied. And for drive of 340 or a rough check of +1, we're going 68% slider, 5% elevation, pull over the bullseye. Longer drives, obviously we'll need less on the slider, 2% per yard. And the same with the rough check. If you've got a shorter drive and you've got a rough check of +2, you'd need to play that 70% slider instead. But a good chance for an eagle. Here we're going to go with the Kingmaker and the Apocalypse. Top of +10 with APOC 5 and above, red ring touching the rough with APOC 5 and 6. And we're going to add spin, 5.8 top spin, 3 bars left spin. APOC 4 will set up at power 3 max rest, and you will have 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough on the left. We then make our adjustment, maximum distance 0 elevation. And then once we've done that, it is time to take our shot. We're going to need some left curl here. And you'll see here, it is outer wall curl to the left. And once again, just before the circle drops as our overpower reference. This is a bit of a narrow drive, but it's an aggressive one to set up an Albatross attempt. So it is a bit of a narrow line. Great balls may well clip the rough, so take a token or two and get familiar with the setup. You want to drive around 365 to 370. With our Grizzly, we're going to play a rough bump here with about 3.8, 3.9 top spin, and always 3 bars left spin. Then we find the minimum distance line and count up rings from min until you find the position shown. I want to have the top of the yellow ring touching the rough line, and you want to have the ball guide going just through the hole. So that may need a click or two less or more top spin. It depends how you are with your drive, but you want that ball guide just going through the hole. Now, I'm going to show you here a point to the left. You see there's a join in the fairway where that ball guide jumps. Make sure you're setting up on the right of that join, otherwise you may get a bit of a glitch, but it shouldn't happen with a well executed and perfect ball on the drive. We're playing rings from min, 0 elevation, Now, pushing up 14 rings from min, as I did in the video here, that equates to 18% on the slider. We've got rings from min videos on the channel homepage, charts available on the Facebook group, and also using Rings Bible if you need those. Plenty of resources, check them out. Perfect ball, very good chance for an albatross here on this par 5. If you're enjoying the free content here and want to help support the channel, then you can do so in one of 3 ways. You can click the thanks button directly underneath the video, you can use the PayPal link in the description down below, or you can become a channel member as well. All support of the channel is greatly appreciated. We're going to play from the minimum distance line with a power 3 ball and a sniper for a hole-in-one attempt here. You can see here I go with 5 backspin and about 3 clicks. You can call that 5.2 if you like. You might want to tweak it slightly. It's about 5.1 actually. Just looking at the replay, 5 and 2 clicks. You can see there the ball guide with spin added, just a small gap between the edge of the ball guide on the second bounce to the edge of that lighter green square column. Giving you a good zoom in there to replicate, but this is at the minimum distance line with a power 3 ball. We're going to play min plus 30 here. And here it's all about getting the backspin right according to what wind angle you have. You might want to tweak it a little bit based on the replay here, but min plus 30, power 3, getting it in very nicely. It is kind of getting in on that 4th bounce, but has been fairly consistent for me, just glancing the pin and falling for a hole-in-one. We're going to send it to green here on this par 4 with this wind angle. You want the bullseye directly over the rough line. With APOC 5 plus, that is going to be at the top of plus 12. And we're going to add spin. With APOC 4, you will be at the top of plus 18. 3 top spin, 2 left spin. Again, you can use a berserker or you can use one of the TPC Sawgrass balls. You can win those with a free shot at the Special Players Championship Golden Shot. Video on that on the channel as well if you want to check that out. But if not, a berserker's fine. Max plus 0, power 5. Leave it where it is. Slow needle, to be honest. So you may not need that plus 3 needle stability. But we're going with 2 1/4 ball curl to the left. Look at the line down, imaginary line down from the tee. It would have intersected the tip of the triangle on the outside. You could get a hole-in-one here if you're lucky with just burning the right edge. But either way, you're going to be putting for an eagle with a well-executed drive. For the drive here on this tough par 5, I'm going to show you the layup safe eagle option. We're going to go with the quarterback, and we're going to play with 4 backspin and 1 left spin, setting up at P3 max with quarterback 9 and 10, and you want to have the blue ring touching the rough. Obviously, there are more aggressive options if you want, but I would recommend you go with a premium ball. A luminary will help if you want to go with a full blast left curl shot to try and get yourself a clear view of the pin. Obviously, take a token or 2, try and dial something in if you're interested in that. But if not, here is your safe eagle. 1-to-1 adjustment here, so 8.4 rings for 8.4 wind. And the idea here is using that backspin. You don't want to go too far because then you're going to have the trees in the way. So this is working nicely for me. Perfect ball. And you want to drive here just to check up in this area here. Distance is going to be around 285. Now, with our second shot, we're going to play with 0.2 top spin and 3 right spin with the Cataclysm or the Big Dog. Here, with my club level, I'm setting up with half of the red ring inside the rough on the right and the ball guide as shown once we've added spin. You may need to tweak your spin. If you're worried about a great right, then set up maybe half a ring further to the left. But this is all about getting it to the green primarily. Here, I go without a wall curl to the right, no overpower. If you're worried about the trees, then of course tweak the curl. But the adjustment is max plus 0, getting ourselves safely onto the green, and we're going to have a short putt for the eagle on this tricky par 5. Small tweak needed here. We're going to play with the Grizzly. If you haven't got enough backspin on your level of Grizzly, then you would need to go with the Saturn instead, or maybe the Tsunami. But you need to have the backspin that I'm using. So just check your club stats before you go in. Here I'm going with 5.2 backspin and 3 right spin. White ring with the grizzly, of course, touching the bunker. Yellow ring touching the beginning of the fringe. Adjusting mid plus 55, power 3. Yeah, that is correct. Mid plus 55, because this amount of backspin will give you a high second bounce, going to be affected more by the wind. We're using power 3 numbers, and I'm doing 2 pulls over the bullseye. This will need tweaks. Firstly, you will need to tweak the backspin by a click or two here based on the miss in the video. We're coming in very, very closely. As you can see here, we're just going to miss on the short side, so maybe 1 or 2 clicks less backspin would be good on this tough par 3. Thank you for watching this video on the Players 9-Hole Cup here on the channel. Plenty more help to be found on the Facebook group, 12,000 plus members sharing shots, free guides and discussion points as well. Head over there, it is free to join, and you can interact with me and loads of other helpful members in the game. Looking forward to seeing you there. Good luck, bye for now.